In the basement of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, 80 feet below street level, sits the world's largest accumulation of gold. For decades, it was a relic, a barbarous relic, as Keynes called it. But in the last 24 months, something has shifted. While the public was told inflation was transitory and the dollar was king, the world's most powerful central banks began a quiet, aggressive pivot. They aren't just buying gold, they are exiting a system. To understand why, we have to look at February 2022. When the West froze $300 billion of Russian FX reserves, they changed the rules of the game forever. Every sovereign nation realized that if their money is just a digital entry in a ledger controlled by another country, it isn't truly theirs. It's a permission-based asset. China, India, and the Global South watched this and reached the same conclusion. If the dollar is a weapon, you need a shield that cannot be turned off with a mouse click. Look at the data. Central banks added over 1,000 tons of gold to their reserves in consecutive years, levels not seen since the 1960s. But notice who is buying. It isn't just the usual suspects. Singapore, Poland, and Turkey have joined China in a massive accumulation phase. They are swapping US Treasuries, the world's risk-free asset, for physical bullion. Why? Because you cannot print gold, and you cannot sanction a physical bar sitting in a vault in Warsaw or Beijing. We are witnessing the great de-risking. Central banks operate on a 50-year horizon, not a 5-day trading cycle. They see the U.S. national debt surpassing $36 trillion. They see interest payments on that debt now costing more than the entire defense budget. They know that eventually, the only way out is financial repression, keeping interest rates below inflation to melt the debt away. In that scenario, the dollar loses its purchasing power. Gold, however, is the only asset with no counterparty risk. There is an information asymmetry here. While retail investors are distracted by the latest crypto pump or AI hype, the smartest money in the world, the people who actually issue the currency, are hoarding the one thing they can't print. They are creating a dual-track monetary system. One track for the public, digital, trackable, and inflationary. Another track for the sovereign, physical, private, and immutable. This is the ultimate insurance policy against a systemic reset. The quiet hoarding of gold is the sound of the world's financial architecture being rewritten. We are moving from a trust-based system, where the dollar's value is backed by the full faith and credit of the US government, to a trustless system, where tangible assets settle the score. When the music stops and the world asks, who is actually solvent? The answer will be found in the weight of the vaults, not the size of the digital balance sheets. Central banks aren't predicting a doomsday. They are preparing for a transition. They are quietly insulating themselves from the very system they manage. The question isn't whether gold is going to $3,000 or $5,000. The question is, what do they know that you don't? When the architects of the system start buying the exit door, it's time to pay attention. The game hasn't changed, but the pieces are being moved. Make sure you aren't the last one holding the paper.